I may not be a credentialed media person, but I'm not the only one that feels that the Detroit Lions still have work to do on the edge rusher, in the edge rusher position. We have talked about the Pride of Detroit's 53-man roster prediction, and with guys the likes of Matthew Betts getting cut, who has probably the biggest motor outside of Aiden Hutchinson, obviously the edge rusher position doesn't look all that great. I've said it before and I will continue to say it. I'm going to be like a broken record, man, skipping on repeat one of them. Y'all remember CDs? I'm about to be like a CD, meaning not harping on last year, but talking about the present, which is we still need somebody to pair opposite Aiden Hutchinson. We've talked about Matthew Judon. I personally, if the Detroit Lions don't want to trade for anyone, I would look into Yannick Ngakoue. He's a free agent, going to be super cheap, can help us make that Super Bowl push. But this name, edge rushers keep coming up. Ones that already have teams. That's the crazy part about it. We've talked about Matthew Judon, and now we're talking about Hassan Reddick. Now, we talked about this guy long before now, back in March, April, before he was traded to the New York Jets. Now, his situation is super sticky. Super sticky. I'm not sure Brad Holmes is going to want to go anywhere near that. It really depends on what. Let me adjust this real quick. Go there. Got you here. Got you there. That feels much better. Let me twist that real quick. All right. I'm not sure Brad Holmes is want to go anywhere near this guy. So if you don't know, Hassan Reddick is not going to report to camp. He has not report, and he is most likely not going to play. Now, he was traded. He wanted a new deal in Philadelphia. He was traded for a conditional third-round pick. And now we're seeing why potentially it was a third-round pick. Now, I'm not going to say that this guy is a troublemaker. These guys want their money. They want their money. They want to get it before they can't get it, before an injury. They want insurance. I get it. All right. We hear what's happening with Brandon Ayuk. Jordan Love is not going to play until he gets his deal. So this is where we live. So I'm not going to paint the guy to be a bad guy. We even heard Amon-Ra St. Brown could be holding out before he got his deal. That was the rumor mill. So this guy wants a deal. He was traded to the New York Jets. And check this out. The New York Jets were under the impression he was going to play the year out under the contract. I don't know how that happens. His agent needs to be fired. Somebody needs to be fired. Somebody, because there was either a bold-faced lie or miscommunication between the two parties. Hassan Reddick, the Jets were under the impression he was going to play throughout his final year. They could talk about somebody dropped the ball somewhere. That being said, the Detroit Lions name has come up because apparently people think we need a edge rusher to pair opposite Aiden Hutchinson. And a legit edge rusher, not like a mystery man, not a planeteer, an established edge rusher, even over the age of 30, right? So Hassan Reddick was just traded for peanuts to the New York Jets. Now, I am not going to rule out a trade. It might not be to the Detroit Lions, but if the Jets were under the impression, according to this article, that Hassan Reddick was going to play out his year and they feel like they got okie doke, they could trade this guy in a second. Now, they got a conditional third-round pick. That can be a second-round pick, okay? So that tells you that they're going to want at least a third. They might be trying to wash their hands of Hassan Reddick, okay? So how could the Detroit Lions really be interested in and make this happen? I'm going to be real. Him or Matthew Judon, to me, they're the same player. Judon is older. Hassan, I don't think Reddick would be a problem if he came here. I'm not going to let the money issue, even Justin Jefferson, one of if not the best wide receiver in the National Football League, was he wanted his money, right? So I'm not going to let that deter me and make him out to be that type of person. Now, if Brad Holmes and stuff like that it feels that way, then that's up to them. But here's what they said of how Hassan Reddick could fit in Detroit. Says, Detroit added veteran edge rusher Marcus Davenport on a one-year, $6.5 million contract this offseason. Davenport will miss the beginning of training camp as he's still recovering from his ankle injury from last year. But if healthy this fall, Davenport should be the bookend edge rusher the Lions desire opposite Aiden Hutchinson. However, that doesn't mean the Lions couldn't use even more proven players along the edge of their defense. With Reddick, the Lions would be adding a veteran who has posted 50.5 sacks over the past 4 seasons. And here's the kicker. The Lions are number 2 in salary cap space heading into training camp with $38.5 million. So Hassan Reddick, I want to say, is on the books this year for 14.5. So him and Judon, essentially the same thing. If he came here, that doesn't mean that we would pay him 14. I don't know what he's looking for. I have no idea what kind of contract these guys are looking for. Is it a money thing? Is it a security thing? Is it both? If we were to trade for Hassan Reddick, it would be a 2 or 3 year deal. The max contract Brad has ever given out, in my recollection, to a free agent or a free agent is 3 years. Was Alexander Zaloni, Carlton Davis, Cam Sutton, David Montgomery. I think those are the 4. If there's any I missed, let me know. But I don't know what he's looking for. I have no idea. Is it upwards? If he's making 14, does he want 18? Does he want 20? I have no idea. The dude deserves to be paid, but how much and for how long? So I'm not going to rule out that the New York Jets could totally trade this guy because they, like I said many times in this video, they were under the impression they were getting him for this year and they weren't going to have to worry about contract. Let me see if I can find this. This is coming from, where are we at? Let me see. I think it's the third part down. Okay. Dang, I can't find it. But I saw it in the article that they thought he was going to play. They didn't think it was going to be a problem this season. Dang. Oh, here we go. Found it. Whew. All right. Says, the Jets were under the impression that Reddick would play the final year of his contract without an issue, but that doesn't appear to be reality. Maybe they misunderstood, or maybe he changed his position. Whatever the case, he skipped the entire offseason. Basically, the Jets traded for a contract dispute, a bizarre twist to what seemed like a sound trade. Now, this is all a matter of perspective, in my opinion. It all depends on how you view this. Was it done on purpose? Did he change his mind? Did he okey doke the Jets? Was there some miscommunication between his management and the Jets? And does that mean that he's going to be an issue if he were to find a new team? I'm going to say, if the money is right, no. But that's everyone. That's all of these guys. We just haven't had it happen to our team because we haven't got there yet. So Jared Goff was not going to hold out. I truly believe Amon-Ra St. Brown was. I truly believe that. The dude he worked too hard to get where he is. That's just my opinion. And I wouldn't want him not to play for us anymore. I think holdouts can be selfish, but I also know this is a business and you have to make sure you get you get security because the NFL will throw you away in a second. If you can't perform, you are no good to them. So I'm not going to be mad at a dude trying to get his money and valuing his security over, at first I thought it was selfish and stuff like that. And I guess in some regards it is, but you've got to be that way. You've got to be that way to some extent, right? So now when it comes to Jordan Love, bro, you ain't done nothing. you ain't done nothing. You had a pretty good season. You had a pretty good season, but come on, bro. Like you holding out and get on the field first. You got like 20 games under your belt or something like that. It's crazy. So let me know what you think in the comments below. Hassan Reddick, do you think this whole thing is a warning? Do you think it's a red flag? Or do you genuinely think there was a misunderstanding? And even no matter what you think, would you, if the Detroit Lions, listen, the Jets might be ready to throw this dude away. They might be ready to be like, you know what? Take him. What would you do? Well, I don't know what our draft picks look like for next year. What would you give up for Hassan? I'm not giving you more than what you got for him. That's for sure. So, if you get a second round pick, you ain't getting no higher than a second. That's pretty high. Maybe I'll give you a 6th and a 4th or something like that, or a 6th and a 5th. I don't know. I ain't giving you no second. That's for sure. The best you're going to get out of me is a third. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Consider subscribing to the YouTube channel as well, because we are almost at 21K. I did go back and get the NFC Championship shirts, and I guess the word got out, man, because when I got there, that table was wiped clean. They only had extra large and small and medium, and I picked them up, and I needed a minimum of large. I was going to get like 5 larges and 5 extra larges, depending on how they fit. So unfortunately, I missed the window, but don't worry. We will be having giveaways. Anyway, it doesn't matter. They were going to happen, but those shirts were a steal of a deal. They were a steal of a deal, man. Like Macklemore would say, that's a steal of a deal. They were a steal of a deal, man. So yeah, make sure you guys check out the link in the description as well. The links in the description, the affiliate links with Game Pass and all that other stuff, man. Game time coming up if you need tickets to the Lions preseason game. You guys are awesome. Take care of yourself and each other. And as always, go Lions.